Until the pads go on, nothing matters. Why non-contact drills are NFL's great deceiver. Throughout the NFL's offseason program, fans and analysts alike get caught up in the excitement of seeing rookies in team colors for the first time. Reports of impressive throws, catches, and defensive plays flood social media. But as Browns film analyst Lance Raceland repeatedly emphasized on the latest Orange and Brown Talk podcast, there's one crucial caveat to all these observations. It doesn't matter till the pads go on. This philosophy, while seemingly simple, carries profound implications for how we should evaluate NFL talent, particularly rookie. The transition from shorts and t-shirts to full pads represents not just a clothing change, but a fundamental shift in the game's dynamics and evaluation metrics. I tell everybody, it doesn't matter until the pads go on, Raisland stated matter-of-factly when discussing Gabriel's performance in non-contact drills. This sentiment wasn't a dismissal of Gabriel's skills, but rather an acknowledgement of the limitations inherent in evaluating players without contact. The difference between non-contact and full contact practices is stark. As Raceland explained, it doesn't matter if Dylan Gabriel or Shedeur Sanders had a terrible summer and everybody was losing their minds. Once the pads go on, that can change in one day. That could literally change in one team session because of how he handles team with live bullets flying around it. The phrase live bullets is particularly telling. It represents the speed, pressure, and physicality that cannot be replicated in a controlled, non-contact environment. For quarterbacks especially, the true test comes when defenders are actively trying to hit them, when the pocket collapses, and when split-second decisions must be made under duress. This philosophy extends beyond quarterbacks. When discussing defensive tackle Mason Graham, Raisland offered perhaps his most vivid illustration of the pads-on principle. Mason Graham's a guy, I will promise you this, when the pads go on, Mason Graham is a complete nasty human being. Graham's background as a wrestler gives him unique advantages in leverage and balance that simply cannot be showcased without contact. His true strengths, violence, physicality, and nastiness, remain hidden during the offseason program. For fans, this perspective serves as a valuable reminder to temper expectations based on offseason reports. The real evaluation period begins with training camp and preseason games, when the intensity increases and players must perform with live bullets flying around. As host Dan Labby noted during the podcast, the limitations of non-contact evaluation extend beyond rookies. I didn't even know how much of that we're going to be able to figure out in the preseason. Like, this is stuff that we're not going to be able to figure out until we see Sanders playing real football games against real opponents. So as Browns fans continue to follow the development of Gabriel, Sanders, Graham, and other rookies, Raisland's pads-on philosophy offers a crucial lens through which to view off-season reports, with cautious optimism and the understanding that the real tests are yet to come. Want to hear more about why the transition to pads will be crucial for the Browns rookie class? Listen to the full episode of Orange and Brown Talk for Raisland's complete breakdown of what to watch for when training camp begins. Here's a podcast for this week. The sun beats down on manicured turf. Cleats scrape the air, and quarterbacks drop dimes to wide receivers streaking across the field. From a distance, it looks like football. From a fan's perspective, it feels like football. But beneath the rhythm of organized chaos, there's an illusion. Because until the pads go on, nothing really matters. In the NFL, off-season workouts, rookie mini camps, and even the first weeks of training camp without contact can seem electric. Stories emerge. A 6th-round receiver is turning heads. A backup corner is blanketing Pro Bowls. A young quarterback looks sharp. Fans hunger for hope, and media outlets feed that hunger with dazzling reports of non-contact glory. But veterans, coaches, and scouts all know the secret. The real football hasn't started yet. These drills are the NFL's great deceiver, mirage in motion. Non-contact drills are a strange paradox. They reveal everything and nothing at the same time. Players run crisp routes, make leaping catches, and execute plays with robotic precision. There are no collisions, no tackles, no chaos. Just the clean beauty of a playbook turned performance art. It's mesmerizing, almost poetic, but it's also misleading. Without pads, there's no real blocking. Defensive linemen win reps by brushing past an offensive tackle's shoulder. Linebackers make a stop by tagging the running back's hip. The game becomes theoretical, like a chess match played with holograms. There's timing and strategy, sure, but none of the grit, none of the pain, none of the violence that defines real football. That's why a player can look like a star in June and be cut by August. The great camp myths. Every year, fans fall in love with training camp stars. These are the players who shine in shorts, those who dominate in 7-on-7s, who never drop a pass, who intercept everything thrown their way. They're often undrafted free agents or late round picks, fringe players on the bubble. In a setting designed for finesse, these underdogs thrive. But then the pads go on. Suddenly, that shifty slot receiver can't get off the line against press coverage. That agile linebacker gets swallowed by pulling guards. That cornerback who looks sticky in coverage now hesitates before hitting. The illusion fades. The truth comes out. Because football isn't just about knowing your assignment. It's about surviving impact. There's an old saying in locker rooms, looks good in shorts. It's not a compliment. It's a warning. Contact. The great equalizer. When the pads go on, the NFL returns to its essence. Power, leverage, violence. Those are the variables that drills can't replicate. Football isn't a game of choreography. It's a game of controlled collisions. Take offensive line play. In non-contact drills, a tackle only needs to mirror the pass rusher. He doesn't have to absorb force, anchor his feet, or deliver a punch. Everything looks clean. But under real pressure, with pads on and bodies flying, technique is tested. A guard who looks agile in June may fold under the power of a bull rush in August. Running backs, too, live in the gray area between illusion and reality. In shorts, they explode through gaps, untouched. But once the hitting begins, it's about vision, balance, and how well they can take or deliver punishment. You can't fake physicality. Even quarterbacks, seemingly untouched in practice, face a different reality once defenders can hit. Suddenly, those perfect throws under no pressure become hurried, off pressure, or don't happen at all.